PHP in 5.5 introduced a feature called generators. Now, like most of the new features in PHP, this is one which has been inspired by developments in other languages. I certainly had seen generators in Python before I realized that they were coming into PHP. The generators look like a function and they tie in quite nicely with the way that we use iterators in PHP today. The idea is that instead of using the return statement, we use yield instead. And what that does is it freezes the function wherever it is at and returns the current value. However, next time you call this function, execution will continue from where you were. It's very common to see generators with a loop inside. So you can do things such as fetching a list of database results and having those, iterating over those, rather than loading them all into memory, returning a whole pre-populated collection back to your calling context. You can return things one piece at a time, which can be much more memory efficient. So I have a super simple example here, which is called getValues. It's a function, and all it does is yield apple and ball and cat. So each time you call this function, you get a new value, but it's yielded. It's not a return statement. Have a look at the second section here. We have $stuff, which is getValues. It looks like we called a function and got an array returned and then for eached over it. So your calling code doesn't need to care too much that this is a generator, but you can set that up so that the getValues is actually a pointer. So you iterate over the generator. Each is a thing and it echoes each thing in turn. We also, at the same time, using this idea of calling a function and sort of retaining state and then re-entering where we were, we also got a feature which is really not well known called coroutines, which allows us to have functions which yield and remember where they're up to, so they can sort of cooperate on working through data, manipulating the data, working through data, manipulating the data. Both generators and coroutines were new in PHP 5.5. So again, it might not be something which is available in your current version, but I would expect 5.5 to be standard on every platform pretty soon.